On the outside, Bluey looks like a fun and lighthearted show, but there's a whole lot going on in the background that you've probably missed. Mackenzie's mom's changing fur. Mackenzie's mom didn't always look the way she does now. First, she only had one spot on her face, but as the seasons went on, something changed. Now, she has spots on both sides. So, what happened? Some people think she dyed her fur red. Maybe she went through something and decided to change her look, a sort of rebellious phase. It could be, but there's another theory that fits even better. What if her fur changed because of vitiligo? In the real world, this condition causes skin to lose pigment, and it could explain what happened to Mackenzie's mom. One side of her fur is brown, while the other is white. Over time, the brown fur grew back, just like how vitiligo affects skin. Maybe Bluey quietly included this real-world condition into the show, but they never directly say it. Could it be that they don't want you to know? Uncle Rad's genes. Uncle Rad looks like a typical healer until you take a closer look at his fur. Unlike Chili, who's red, and Bandit, who's blue, Rad is a mix of both, half red, half blue. Now, here's the mystery. Both Grandpa Bob and Grandma Chris are blue healers, and usually, blue healers don't have red pups. So, how did Rad end up like this? The answer could lie in recessive genes. Even though Rad's parents are blue, they could carry a hidden red gene. If both passed it down to Rad, that could explain the split fur. It's rare, possible, but what if there's another explanation? What if Rad has a different parent? Could Grandma Chris have had a secret fling with a red healer? Maybe that explains why Rad's fur is a mix of both colors. It could even explain why Grandpa Bob is hardly ever around. What if something happened in the past that caused a rift in the family? Could there be more to Uncle Rad's past than we realize? Life of Cornelius, Winton's dad. Cornelius, Winton's dad, doesn't talk much, but his life, that tells a whole story. And honestly, it's kind of a wild one. For starters, Winton has no idea where his dad lived. The only thing he knows for sure is that Cornelius has a pool, and that pool seems to be a pretty big deal. But that's just the beginning. Throughout the series, Cornelius pops up in some surprising situations. In dance mode, there's a dog in sunglasses flirting near the post office. Then, in the quiet game, that same dog is on a date with, yep, you guessed it, Cornelius. Looks like Winton's dad has quite the dating life. But here's where it gets even stranger. Cornelius gives money to a terrier sitting on the sidewalk. Seem random, right? Well, that terrier is probably the dad of 3 pups who go to school with Bluey, and later, Cornelius dates their mom. The pups even say their mom likes Winton's dad. So, Cornelius has a pool, a mysterious home, a complicated love life, and possibly stepkids. But here's the big mystery. We never see Winton's mom. Cornelius says he lives with her, but why does he spend so much time with his dad? Where does she live? Missy's anxiety. Missy is one of Bingo's closest friends, but there's something about her that stands out. She's always a little more nervous than the others. In Pirates, we see her struggle with her fears, hesitating to join in. It's a small moment, but it could point to something deeper from her past. Then, in Pass the Parcel, things get even more interesting. When Lucky's dad changes the rules, Missy doesn't just hesitate, she runs straight into her mom's arms, looking genuinely upset. It might seem like a normal reaction, but there's a detail that doesn't fit. Missy is an Australian Terrier, but her mom is a Shiba Inu. In Bluey, parents are always the same breed as their kids. So, what does this mean? Could Missy be adopted? If so, that could explain why she's more anxious than the others. Maybe she didn't always have a stable home, and that uncertainty made her more nervous. Snickers' missing dad. Snickers, the dachshund with big dreams and a body that struggles with jumping, has a mom who pops up in a few episodes. But here's the strange part. His dad is nowhere to be found. In Bluey, most kids look like a mix of their parent, but Snickers doesn't resemble his mom at all. This suggests that he might take after his dad, who's never been shown in the series. Every time Snickers' mom shows up, she's always alone. In fact, she even tries to catch the bouquet at Frisky and Rad's wedding, another clue that she's not married. So, where is Snickers' dad? Did he leave? Is he just too busy? Or is he off on some wild dachshund adventure? Until Bluey gives us the answers, Snickers stays the only sausage dog at home. Unless, of course, his mom starts dating that long-bodied dog at the wedding. The kite on the roof. In the episode Dirt, everything seems normal, until you notice something odd right outside the healer house. Stuck in the tree is a bird-shaped kite. But this isn't just any kite. It's the exact same one Bingo won in Pass the Parcel. So, how did it get there? We never see her flying it. We never see anyone even mention it again. But there it is, tangled in the branches like it's been through something. Did Bingo try to fly it and lose control? Did a windy day carry it off? Or did someone else borrow it and forget to bring it back down? Whatever happened, it's never explained. The show just places it there, quietly, like a secret waiting to be noticed. A forgotten prize, now part of the background. Whose rugby ball is on the healer roof? In Double Babysitter, there's a strange little detail hiding in the background. Right above the healer house, stuck on the roof, is a plain orange rugby ball. But here's the thing, it's not Bandit's. His rugby ball has green and yellow stripe. So, whose is this one? Did Bandit used to have another ball? Maybe he lost it before getting his new one. Having two flyaway balls seems kind of odd, unless it's a habit. Then comes the real clue. In Mum School, Bandit's striped ball is sitting on Lucky's roof. That means he's already sent one flying over there too. So maybe the ball on his roof isn't even his. Maybe it belongs to Lucky's family or someone else entirely. Whatever the case, it looks like Bandit has a bit of a rooftop problem, and Bluey just leaves it there like a quiet mystery for us to notice. Did Chili really kiss Stripe? One episode quietly dropped a moment that still has fans talking. When Stripe and Muffin walk into the healer house, Chili greets him, and not with a wave. She leans in and gives him what looks like a kiss. Not a cheek kiss, not a hello hug, a real kiss. Then they go off to the kitchen, just the two of them, sharing coffee, laughing, looking way too comfortable. This isn't just any visitor, it's Bandit's brother. So what is really going on here? Why did the show let that moment play out like that? Why make it so quiet, so subtle, like something we weren't supposed to catch? Was it just a slip in animation? Or is Bluey trying to tell us something without saying it out loud? Because if Chili is cheating, it's not just any affair, it's with Bandit's own brother. What's really going on between Wendy and Bandit? In dance mode, everyone's focused on Bluey and her family busting moves, but watch Wendy. As soon as Pat compliments Bluey, Wendy shoots a look that says, enough. Like she's heard this all before and isn't buying it. But why so bitter? Wendy's been the healer's neighbor forever. She's watched their family grow, play, and get a little too wild. And her reactions? Always cold, barely a wave, hardly a smile, just a polite distance, until something changed. In the episode where Bandit pretends to be a ragdoll, Wendy steps in to help. She even drives him around with that same tired look, except Bandit's face says something else. He's a little too relaxed. Maybe he caught a soft scent. Or maybe he liked the attention. And let's not forget the time Bandit's bare butt made full contact with Wendy's window. She didn't scream, she didn't even yell, she just stared. So now the question is, has Wendy had enough of the healers? Or does she secretly enjoy their chaos a little more than she lets on? Maybe what we're seeing isn't just annoyance. Maybe it's something else entirely. Why was Maynard at the wedding? Maynard barely shows up in Bluey, but when he does, feels like he belongs, especially at Frisky and Uncle Rad's wedding, which is weird because why does he belong? Everyone at the wedding had a clear reason to be there. Family, close friends, neighbors. But Maynard? He's just there like it's the most normal thing in the world. So, how does he fit in? Maybe he's more than just Mort's pal? If Maynard's been close to Mort for years, and Chili grew up around them, he might have known Frisky too, back when she and Chili were kids. That would make him kind of a god-uncle figure. The guy who's always been around, even if we rarely see him. But then again, there's another angle. Maynard runs a gas station. Uncle Rad works offshore. Their jobs might have crossed paths. Maybe Rad stopped in one, and they hit it off. Maybe Maynard helped him out. Maybe they share weird inside jokes about engines and oil spill. It sounds random, but Bluey's world is full of quiet connections. The hidden terrier's family heartbreak. Everyone remembers Bandit struggling to stay quiet, but barely anyone notices the man sitting on the sidewalk in that same scene. Head down, paw out, asking for money. He's only there for a second, but something about him sticks. Look closer. He looks exactly like the terrier's dad, and that changes everything. Because if that is him, then the terrier's story just got a lot darker. Maybe he lost everything. His home, his family, maybe even custody. That would explain why we've never seen their parents around. Why the terriers always seem glued together, relying on each other more than anyone else. It also makes their favorite game, playing soldiers, feel different. They're not just being silly, they're brave, holding the line, fighting battles nobody else sees. Bluey might never spell it out, but in one silent blink and you miss it shot, the show might have told a whole story without a single word. The cabbage catastrophe hidden in Bluey. Out of all the things that probably shouldn't be in the healer house, cabbage might be the worst offender. In the episode Chicken Rat, we see Bandit take just one bite of sauerkraut, and suddenly he's stuck in an endless loop of burping. It's silly at first, but there's more going on than just a funny reaction, because Because burping is only part of the problem. Throughout the series, Bluey and Bingo have complained about their dad's stink bombs more than once. First, it sounds like just a running joke, but when you connect it to the cabbage moment, it starts to feel like a real clue. Bandit might have a long-standing issue with gas, and sauerkraut just brings it to the surface. This changes how we see those quiet moments in the background, the random groans, the wide-eyed kids, the need to open a window. It could all point back to one thing. Maybe Chicken Rat wasn't just about facing food fears. Maybe it was a warning, a heads up that some vegetables, especially when Bandit's involved, come with side effects no one's ready for. That's all for today on these Bluey revelations. Who thought there was so much happening under the surface? Keep your eyes peeled. There's always more to uncover in the world of Bluey.